Scarlett Johansson è bellissima e questo è appurato, anche in versione mora e aliena, però Under the Skin, il film di Jonathan Glazer presentato in concorso al Festival di Venezia del quale è protagonista, non convince. La storia dell'aliena dalle fattezze umane che viaggia lungo la Scozia alla ricerca di pelli umane per i suoi compari alieni non ha soddisfatto pubblico e critica, eppure a sentire le parole di Scarlett pare che l'esperienza di girare questo film sia stata molto difficile.
I think it was the story, it was her story really, from the book, which was very captivating. And this idea of looking at the world through an alien eye. You know, and this story felt to me like it was a perfect, fertile idea for finding a language, a visual vocabulary to tell a story in a very, hopefully in a very unexpected way. But with paying as much attention as possible to the trajectory of the character, to the kind of the emotional journey of the character, the discovery. That required an unusual language, so I suppose it's experimental for that reason, not experimental for its own sake.
I think, you know, Jonathan and I talked about, you know, the fact that, you know, everything that Laura does is for a purpose, and so she's only kind of turned on, so to speak, when she needs to be, and then just kind of returns to a state of being. And, you know, so as opposed to having the kind of strange alien movements, you know, like you would see in like a Tim Burton movie or something, it wasn't, you know, we didn't want to have her feel like an alien with these weird kind of strange, cute, you know, odd, you know, missteps and things like that.
It was set in Scotland, and the alienation of the character, I think, the idea that the film is we're seeing the film through Scarlett's character's eyes, and the planet, the alien planet, is our planet in the film, and it didn't bother me that the dialogue was indecipherable. At times, I thought it was. I think as long as the intent in the scenes is clear, the behavior is clear.
It was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. Not because I was afraid that I would be found out. I mean, there was some aspect of that in the beginning, but quickly, like, that went away because we had such an intimate feeling, I think, in our crew, and so it felt very protected in that sense. But I was afraid of how people react in general. I don't know, it was a very strange experience. You know, just knowing that something's gonna happen as the character does, you know, before anybody else, you know, as Jonathan described earlier, kind of this character being the only one that is the lie or in on the lie or whatever that is. And then I was just not knowing was, you know, it was part of the experience, I guess, of working on this film and with Jonathan and with Jim and our whole crew was actually having to just abandon, you know, a lot of these very human, you know, instincts that we have, protecting ourselves and, you know, wanting to protect one another, and just that experience helped me also to find that kind of reset stage that the character is in, was just totally abandoning that fear and being very present, and it was a therapy, I guess. I don't think of this film as really being a science fiction film. I mean, I think the log line sort of, you know, lends itself to being a science fiction film, but in fact, and Jonathan and I were talking about this earlier, it certainly making it, and I think watching it, although maybe I am a little, you know, I don't know, I have a different idea of it, of course, but it feels sort of like an experience, I think. I don't think it fits necessarily into a genre like a thriller or a science fiction film or a horror film. It's, you know, just in the same way that I think it's hard, you know, that I don't know that this film necessarily has any specific kind of morality or, you know, and these kinds of I think, general ideas or labels we place on pieces of film. It doesn't seem to fit within those confines, I guess.